So Mother's Basement has finally made his opening analysis of JoJo Part 4. And he thought that he could sneak these little details in through his opening, because he has an opening of his own. And you know what? No, I'm not going to let these slip by. I'm going to do a what's in an OP of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 Diamond Does Not Crash. And that's a fucking mouthful. So let's get right into it. Don't have a can this time, so it's in a glass. Hope that's okay. So we get an opening shot of a black screen with white text on it. Super Best Friend's office, somewhere in the terrible French part of Canada. This is obviously in reference to the fact that Quebec is unarguably the shittiest part of Canada. This is not even my opinion, this is a fact dictated by Canadian law. Pat then enters the room excited about doing a full LP of Xenogears, a 65 to 70 hour JRPG, which Pat is fully in love with. The idea that they'd be doing a full LP may imply that they want to do all of the content, or Pat wants to do all of the extra content, which is an extra 5 to 6 hours added onto the game, which only Pat would care about. Pat then takes the crew's pants-shitting pains as their initial reaction to the idea of doing a full Xenogears LP with him. This is a reaction all too common in the Super Best Friend's house, as when Pat says,
"Oh, come on, guys, come on. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad."
Wooly implies, yes, it is indeed that bad, but it's not the reason why we were in pain. You may also notice that this is pre-Omicron finished LP arc, since all of the main characters are still here. Then everyone tells Pat that they are under the attack of an enemy stand.
It's the strongest one we've ever faced!
Pat then questions how could this power possibly be, when he realizes that he shits his pants. Or does he shit his pants? I believe that Pat, a man who's known to not want to shit in front of anyone, only fakes shitting his pants to give everyone the illusion of safety that he is also part of them. This is obviously hinted at in a later part of the opening, but we'll get to that when we do. Also, the power of the pants-shitting stand is in reference to Super Best Friends cast 103. Then Jeff enters in. Much like when Dio enters in through his Hermit Purple in the television, he yells out, "Zaibatsu!" with a poor translator's note that says, Zaibatsu means Super Best Friends cast. This is obviously in reference to Part 4's Duang translation, which was so poor it became a big joke amongst the JoJo community. You may also notice the Duang reference when Jeff is speaking in his Japanese, and the subtitles below are not translating anything that he says. When he reveals the stand name of his stand, Boku no Eruption, the poor subtitles don't even translate the stand name. They don't even say the word stand in them. You may also notice that the design of Boku no Eruption is in reference to not only the worst Persona 4 girl, since as we all know, shit taste means shit pants, but their friend Austin, part of Arcadia, who used to go by the same name, Boku no Eruption. Matt then questions if the enemy is that Mother's Basement guy.
Hey Matt, isn't that Mother's Basement guy?
Matt then replying, stating the obvious,
Doesn't that guy still live with his mother?
Pat then seemingly unaffected by Boku no Eruption, given his strong ability not to shit unless he's within a 32-digit safe at the bottom of the ocean. He compliments the enemy on his work, such as his opening analysis of Gravity Falls. This might also hint at Pat's possible betrayal arc coming soon, as which Pat has stated before that he'd give up everything for eternal life. He'd even sacrifice every one of his friends to the Bayolet. Then we get something really shocking. The good side of Jeff shows through when he smiles and thanks Pat. But then from that, we're shown that Jeff's Japanese isn't just not being translated correctly, it's just nonsense JoJo lines.
Injaku, injaku, muta, 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 muta.
And then we realize that the subtitles all along have been the guiding light, in reference to the fact that Part 4 got a good translation down the line. Now they're what we rely on instead of the other way around. The subtitles then explain that the only way to get out of this pants-shitting nightmare is for Wooly to do a guest starring on What's in an OP. Wooly is very confused by this because they had already agreed and planned to do this, and everyone was very excited to do it. Jeff is taken aback by this, and then reveals that Takahata 101 is going around much like Kira's dad, and stabbing people with an arrow and creating enemy stand users to fight the Zaibatsu. Matt then cries out, "Ustabayo!" And then the cameraman off in the distance asks,
Wait, are they still a thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is in fact a reference to Dio, the main villain of Part 3 and Part 1, is much like Takahata 101 in that his actions cause the event of a Part 4 related content, even though people have thought him to be long since gone. Then Jeff, mirroring much like Yuya, becomes an ally and will help Wooly end the ability of Boku no Eruption. He then explains it's a long-range automatic stand that he can't control and only be disactivated by a crossover through video content.
Stand's a long-range automatic type, and it's not gonna stop until the YouTube crossover happens.
This sudden face turn by Jeff is a lot like when some of the people stabbed by Kira's father in the desperate gambit that he has to create enemy stand users to fight the main cast of Part 4 turn on Kira's father in general and help the main cast, just like Jeff is helping the main cast of the Super Best Friends defeat his own stand. Liam then points out that
That's weirdly specific.
and then Jeff explains.
Yeah, it's a stand.
Liam then dies off camera in reference to his real tragic death at the hands of the Ustabayo. Also in reference to him leaving the Super Best Friends, but the main part is about the tragic death. And then we end where Part 4 begins, with a Moriocho radio broadcast. If you enjoyed this video, then feel free to give it a like down below. Also, don't forget to check out the actual Part 4 opening analysis by Jeff Thu. It was actually really well done. He goes into more detail than I ever did in mine. So, check that out. And if I'd missed anything that you wanted to point out, feel free to tell me about it in the comments section below. And if you want to give me money, I have a Patreon over at patreon.com/ManyNotTheBadGuy. And have a lovely fucking day.